quick run through of what you are going to be looking at today. And make sure when you log in every day that you're not just clicking over here, because that's not usually always going to take you to what you need to do first, right? That's just what's due. Please make sure you are going through the little carrots. That's the little arrow. That's called a carrot. Make sure you're going through the carrots, through the breadcrumbs to get to the day that you need to get to. So for day one, so for Monday, you're going to be looking at this document right here called APSI Documentation Artwork Number 1. Some of you said you wanted to do OneDrive with PowerPoint, and some of you said you wanted to do Google Slides, so that's why there are two. You're only going to be able to see the one that was assigned to you. So I'm just going to click on the PowerPoint one, that's this one, and I'm assuming it's taking you to a screen that looks like this. Okay, so it's got your due date on here, due Wednesday, September 9th. That is the day after the artwork is due. You need to fill out the attached PowerPoint as you get closer to finishing your artwork, and it's going to let you work in the document live and save your changes live, but you're not going to submit it until after you have submitted your artwork first, okay? So submit your artwork first. It is due one day after your artwork due date. So this is due the 9th. Your artwork is due the 8th, okay? And then when you'll need to click on it. Well, you don't have to click on it yet because I'm going to walk you through what it says. And those of you doing Google Slides, yours looks exactly the same, but it's in Google instead of OneDrive. So you need to go in here and type in your name and delete out the extra space so that your name is all on one line. This is for artwork number 1. So SI stands for Sustained Investigation. So it's Sustained Investigation number 1. So put a number 1 in there. On slide number 2, you are going to put that photograph that you sent to me yesterday, or it should be the day before, right? So the photograph that you're going to take and submit to me on the 8th, it needs to go right here. And if you continue to make corrections on the artwork, you will need to go in and edit this later and put in the new one, or add another one. If you're showing any revision, like if you made changes, actual changes, you would actually want to leave that original photo and then show the update. So that does not include just finishing it, okay? It would have to be some big change that you made. All right, so if there was no big change, you would delete the old image, add in the new image. All right, third slide, insert screenshot of assignment, create a collage of your inspiration. Remember that collage I had you make and put together of your artist inspiration, maybe some YouTube videos, your sketches, your ideas. That's going to go right here. And it needs to be big. It needs to fill the page. Same thing with your photograph. Make it as large as possible. I don't know if you know this, but so sometimes when you just drag here, right, you can drag sideways or down. It doesn't always drag it evenly and kept in ratio. So how you drag it in ratio is by holding the shift button and dragging the arrow at the same time, and it'll keep the proportions of your photograph the same. Okay, so I don't know if you know that. That's a little tip. Okay, so collage, screenshot, or of your inspiration. And this is what you're actually being graded on. This is like the summative part. Okay, so your working title. Provide a title that would be displayed with your artwork in an exhibition. So please come up with a title for your artwork. Question or inquiry. List the question or inquiry that guided this artwork. What would my artwork look like to show man taking over nature? How can I show man taking over nature in my artwork, right? What is your inquiry question that is guiding this sustained investigation? Okay, then you're going to talk about your idea. State your basic idea, and so make sure to leave my instruction here, and you just edit where it says example. All right, so leave the instruction. You type where it says example. State your basic idea behind the artwork in a concise statement. Keep this less to 150 characters. Okay, so I wrote out an example, and it was 211 characters. So you will need to use, I don't know if PowerPoint has a little program. Sometimes if you highlight your stuff, there used to be a way to do like a word count, but I don't know if PowerPoint will do a word count. PowerPoint for web doesn't have word count. Okay, so you can't. All right. So this one doesn't let you. So you'd have to do it in Word, copy and paste it into a Word document, and you should be able to get a word count from there. Okay, moving on. What is your idea? Basic statement, 150 characters, not 150 words, 150 characters. That is every single letter and space. Every letter in space. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, that was 10 characters. All right, you need to make sure you measure the height and width of your artwork. So if it is taller than it is wide, make sure the bigger number would be first. If it is a landscape oriented artwork, your height would be smaller. The height would be smaller. The width would be the bigger number. All right, materials. Describe media you used in 100 characters or less. No sentences, just a list. Okay, list out your materials. Exactly what did you use? And don't just say mixed media. Processes. Describe how you created the artwork in 100 characters or less. No sentences, just a list. What did you do? Okay. Or did you study some certain technique? Make sure you include that. Yeah, list painting techniques. What exactly was your process? Did you sketch, then paint, glazing, layering? Be specific in your technique. Don't just say sketched and painted. That's boring. Okay? Be more specific. And then the last part is the explanational information. Describe how this artwork shows evidence of your practice. Describe how your artwork shows evidence of experimentation. Describe how this artwork shows evidence of revision. Okay, these are all things that you have to show throughout your sustained investigation. So if you can talk about it with each individual artwork, that would be amazing. So that is going to be your summative. Filling all this out is going to be your summative grade, not the actual artwork. You are getting, I am grading your artwork as well. So you're really getting 2 summatives out of each project, because I'm going to count this documentation as a summative as well as the artwork as a summative. And then all this little stuff we do in between will all be your daily grades. All right. Let me know if you have questions.